Welcome to this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have with us Donna Hartley. She is an international speaker, survivor, author, past life reader, and she has also been former Miss Hawaii television actress and worked with alongside Robin Williams and Dick Van Dyke and so many other things she has done. We'll learn about that. She's author of several books. We'll talk about that. Welcome to the show, Donna.
Oh, it's my honor to be here. Thank you.
You are welcome. Welcome to the show, Donna. Welcome to India in this online form. And I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what we are going to talk right now. We'll talk about how one can break patterns, how one can discover purpose and understand that in the backdrop of also their past life. We'll talk about all this. But before that, let's talk a bit about your background, your journey, so that people know who they are listening to.
Well, I grew up in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and my life was very different. At 6 years old, I had malnutrition because there wasn't enough food in my house. So there was a struggle beginning right there. At 16, I was a hopeful for the Olympics in snow skiing, and I had my first heart surgery. At 30, then it was a plane crash, a DC-10. That was my spiritual wake-up call. Let me tell you, when you see people die and you're still alive, you have to know you have a purpose. And then after that, few years, I had melanoma stage 3 cancer, then open heart surgery. Then the pandemic came and I thought, I can handle this. Well, guess what? I had to have heart surgery again during the pandemic. So if you face death that many times, if you cross over to the other side, you have to say, why am I here? And what is my purpose?
Why you are here and what is your purpose, Donna?
Hey, I gave you a lead in for that one. Well, first of all, I got to clear up all my stuff. I mean, that's what we have to work on first. We have to work on ourselves. That means going in. That means meditating. That means taking quiet walks. But my second thing is I'm a catalyst and I'm a communicator. I'm here to help people find their path. They got to do the work. But sometimes we need that little nudge. I was blessed to have a mentor that kind of, kept me on the path and worked with me to say, hey, you got to go in. You have to be filled with kindness. Stop judging people. All those things that we have to learn. So yes, my purpose is definitely cleaning up my life first, because I went to the other side 6 times and they sent me back. What does that tell you? I had more work to do. And then to help other people.
Absolutely. So Donna, I want to understand, why should I work hard and why should I not work hard in this life when everything is related to the past and everything will go into the future? Who am I in that aspect? What is your, because you at age 6 you had to you, as you said, less food, malnutrition,
Right.
and then you have the purpose of helping others. Is God trying to test you or is he trying to punish you? And punish a child at that age. I want to understand your life. You must be also, looking at your life, trying to understand, figuring out things. Why has all this thing been happening to you? Putting you into trouble and then taking you out
Right.
of that. Not once, but more than 6 times.
I don't think really God does that to us. I think we assign our lives when we come in. We work with angels and mentors and ascended masters. And I keep saying, why do I have to come back to this blooming earth all the time? But we have patterns from other lives and maybe future lives. But the most important life you can live is in the present. So why are we here? Number 1 is to love ourselves, love our maker, love our people. Now that's pretty hard. It sounds like a very simple statement, but boy, do we judge, we go to wars, we do all those things. So it's like a fine tuning. Why do you start in 1st grade and go to 12th grade and then to go on to college? To learn things, to understand. So that's the essence of this life. It's not to punish us. I mean, there's many times I said, hey, why am I getting this round? Why is it so difficult? But if you look at it in a different way and say, it's not good, it's not bad, but it is a learning lesson to give me more depth, more wisdom, more compassion.
Absolutely. I want to understand it better. How do I know that what you are saying about, and I'm asking it even though I know that, I coming from India, we have grown up with this, but for the
Right.
audience, and it's a global audience, I want to understand, why should I believe that, there have been past lives and there will be a future life? Nobody, only some places talk about. Nowadays there is so much of talk. Why should I know? What is the evidence about it? Where can I look about, this evidence, Donna? Where is it?
Well, first of all, you should look inside yourself because everyone on this planet has had this experience. Man, woman, children, you go somewhere and you go, wow, have I been here before? And you know that you haven't, but it seems familiar. Or you meet one person and you're instantly repelled, or you meet someone else and you like them, you draw towards them, you want to know more about them. Those are past live connections that are coming back in this life. So sometimes you're going to spend time with a person a lot, or marry them, or divorce them, but it's all kind of lessons. Don't look at it as being judged. But again, so how do you do that? You got to meditate. You got to go inside. You got to trust your intuition. You got to junk the junk food. You got to get out in nature. You got to clear up the brain. And once you do that, you can start to get intuitive feelings, which everybody has. But whether you pay attention to them or not, that's up to the individual.
Absolutely. What about resources? A person, if everyone had a past life, some people are born with big resources, less
Mm.
brain sometimes, more
Yep.
brain, but less intuition,
Mhm.
less understanding, less empathy.
Yep.
And people who are with lots of other things, they do not have the resources. And the world is always, in this wobbly state.
Oh,
Why does God do it like that? How should I understand? If God, I am the cause of this God's purpose, then God should bestow me all the resources that are available with him.
right. It should be that way, but it isn't that way. Because if we always came in with our life working perfect, having all the resources, all the money, all the opportunity, what would we learn? We would be pretty shallow, right? I mean, there's times I swore at my life thinking, oh my gosh, this is way too hard. But from everything I went through, every cry, every tear, every person that came in my life and made it difficult, they blessed me with the time to look in. That's it. You can't look out and judge anybody else. Because in one life, you might be very wealthy. In another life, you might want to choose to be blind because in that first life, you made fun of somebody who had disabilities. So now you came back to understand what it's like to be a person with disabilities. Okay. Another one, you say, okay, I don't have enough money, but you have to work. And by working, you meet new people, new experiences. So each one has something to give you. Going through some of them, I will agree they are not fun. It seems like the cards are stacked against you and somebody else has a better life than you, but you cannot compare. You have to say, what do I learn? What wisdom, what depth, what understanding, what insights, and what do I have to offer when I'm alive? I mean, almost dying 6 times, I realize I'm on bonus time. So I want to do the best I can in this life. And oh, I make mistakes, but then I look at them and say, how do I clean them up?
Absolutely. So if our lives are connected, past lives are connected, future is also connected. Why does God make it so difficult for us that he has not connected them all? When it's all a recurring sort of a thing, it should be connected so that we know, okay, this is what we have carried forward. It is like a game, level 1, level 2, level 3, till the
Right.
final level we reach and we achieve that final goal.
Where is that final level? I have no idea. But if we know all the information, we won't care. We'll go, I'll do that next life, or I'll do that another time. It's called pulling down the veil. When you are born into earth, and by the way, earth is the lowest level of energy. Okay. If you're on other planets, the energy is higher. On the other side, it's also telepathic. You can communicate with people without saying a word. That's the nice part. You don't get to lie in that lifetime because they just read your thoughts and you read theirs. But when we come down here, all that's taken away. It's called the veil because we don't learn if we know what's going to happen or if we're tied to the past. You have to live in the present. and you have to bring your energy forward. People are going to put you down, of course. People are going to support you, of course. It's not like it's good or bad. It's like, okay, I'm here. Yep. And I got this today and that tomorrow. Don't get caught in the negative patterns of saying, why don't I have it all figured out? Because you won't have it all figured out in a lifetime.
Right. So are these negative patterns karmic patterns? Because somebody is negative, but he must be a very positive person in the past. How do we know he was not positive? This time he is negative. Means there has to be a reason. I'm trying to understand through your understanding, Donna. Help us understand about these karmic cycles and
Yeah,
karmic patterns.
it is confusing. I understand, because why would I be nasty in another life and why would I be good in the next life? I know a past life that I died in World War II and I was killed and I was shot in a concentration camp. But that moment that it happened, my body left before the bullets hit me. I never felt the pain. See, because I was innocent. It was just because of my religion and where I lived that I became one of those numbers in history. So the one man said, "Oh, what a shame. She's so young." He was doing his job. The other one said, "Oh, she's nothing. Look at her. She's a Jew." He will have the lesson to learn. See, he has that negative lesson. But if I attach to it and get upset with that, then I'm hooked in, right? And I want to say, I want to get even with that person. Well, you have to let it go. It's forgiveness. So this is the main key I can say to you and your viewers. When you start to forgive yourself for the mistakes you made and the other people that have done you wrong, then you are raising your energetic vibration. You can start at that lower level of shame and stay all the way down there. But if you want to work yourself up to like 1,000, that's Mother Teresa energy. It takes a lot of work and a lot of forgiveness.
Absolutely. And you talk about negative patterns. So that guy who talked about, oh, she's nothing, how many lifetimes will it take to get rid of that negative pattern? And how many lifetimes do we take to get rid of our negative patterns?
I don't know, because it depends. If he comes in the next life, or if we come in the next life and we're more understanding and mellow, there's a pattern that I looked at that I was captured in Africa in a slave ship and died. Then the next life, I was an abolitionist in Pennsylvania, freeing the slaves on the railroad, the getaway railroad, the Underground Railroad. And the other one, I was on a plantation, but during the Civil War, and then I could free all my people. It took me 3 lives to conquer that pattern. When I died in that first life, I screamed, "Let my people go," when I died on that slave ship. And that anger took me 3 lives that I know of to work through it. So it could be 20, like an alcoholic could come back and over again, or the alcoholic could get it in 2 lives and say, "I'm out of this pattern." Because once you conquer a pattern, a negativity, you don't have to go back to it, but you got to conquer it and really let it go.
Right. So if I have not been so nice in my earlier lives, everyone who does a wrong thing, they are told that you are being punished for this particular act.
Right.
How should I understand that, my present situation, I need to rectify those acts of the past? At least I should have some information, some database should be there that I can access and know about. How did you come to know about our past lives? General people will not come to know about, do not come to know. Maybe we get to hear about it, but as an individual, like, I don't know. But I would like to know and want to rectify a few things, if at all they need to be rectified. Or maybe if I've hidden some treasure somewhere, maybe I would like to access it in this lifetime.
I want the treasure one. I want the treasure one. Where is it? Where is it? But it's that we spend, as human beings all over the world, so much time beating ourselves up, being negative to ourselves, letting other people judge us, instead of saying, I was 30 years old when I did that, and I didn't know any better. But now I know better. So I'm going to go back in kind of my meditation. I'm going to forgive them for what they did to me, or lied to me, or cheated to me. And I'm going to forgive myself for being so naive and believing. Okay. And I don't have to do this pattern again. So it's understanding that came in, it taught me something. And so I say, what do I learn from this? What do I learn from this? So I don't let this negative energy come to me. I survived a DC 10 plane crash. Now, I changed my flight 5 times. My gut said something was wrong, but then I pushed it back to that original flight because I had to learn that near death white light experience. And then I was subpoenaed. My first major speech was taking on the airlines for airline safety. Now, to someone else, that might have been awful to go through a plane crash and see people die. And it was, but it altered my whole life by giving me the opportunity to stand up and to speak and to make a difference for other people. So, yes, you're going to have patterns younger. But if you're attached to those, then you drag them right through the rest of your life, and then you bring them in the next life, and then you bring them in the next life. So I say, heal now, heal later, heal at death, heal after death. If I have a choice, I want to heal right now because I don't want all those lifetimes I have to come back just to heal that one thing.
Right. So how do I heal? How do I make sure that I do not make any mistakes in this life? Should I go to the Himalayas? Should I go to the jungle? I will not come in contact with anyone. I will not make any mistakes, and I will be redeemed of all the past life negativity.
We did that, many of us in past lives. We were monks or Himalayas, and that sounds great. But that's not the way the world is built right now. Right now, we have a white light energy that all of us that are working on spiritual path want to bring to this world and eliminate some of the darkness and the negativity. So going on top of a mountain now doesn't work for the majority of people. Yes, we need people up there praying for the whole world and sending out the energy. But the average person like us, is when we come in contact, we don't let that negative energy keep going on. We stop it with our positiveness. Now, they might not change, but we don't let it come to our energy. We stay positive. We don't argue with them. We don't get in the fight. We don't get in the negativity. We don't send the judgment out there. Just send love and light. And I'm not going to tell anybody listening today that that is an easy thing to do, to stay in the positive when the rest of the world is going crazy and the energy is not steady. But forgiveness, you got to do it. Acceptance, you have to do it. Again, raise your energetic vibration all the time. Meditate, get out in nature. Trust your intuition. So when somebody's fighting me or getting mad, I want to jump right in. I'm a redhead. I'm Irish. But what I want to say is, this is happening so I can learn something. That's where I go. I can learn something. So what do I need to learn?
Absolutely. So what is the best way? Let me ask you this way. What is the best way to live in today's time? Is there a way that, template that one can follow?
I don't think there is one way. I really don't. But I think there's some things that you can do. One is that in every situation, if you can be that light, hold that positive energy, that's one. Another one, if you can answer or communicate in kindness or in asking positive questions instead of slamming with negativity or telling them what to do. The other one is patience. Oh my gosh, I have to work on that one. But being patient, you just want to charge forward, just want to say something. Another one is being patient. I mean, these are all basic values through the whole world, but we get caught up in other things that are going on. So if we go back to those basic things, that's why every day you need some quiet time. Call it meditation, call it contemplation, you got to go in. Because if you throw a pebble in the ocean, all you see are all the big waves, okay? But that pebble goes to the very bottom and it's very calm and it's sitting on the sand. Okay, we're living the waves in this world up here. You got to go in, and that's where the answers then start to come up, the path that you should follow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you have crossed over 6 times.
Yeah.
Came back. What did you see all these 6 times? Was it the same place, different places? What did you see? Why didn't you cross over? Who sent you back?
Oh, well, okay. So first time, malnutrition. There was alcoholism, violence in my family, and my best girlfriend at 6 years old had passed on. So I went to the other side. I can't say at that time I saw anyone. It's like white lights. It was like images, like holograms. Okay. And they were masters and mentors. And they showed me what my life would be like, or not my parents' life, if I stayed there. I mean, there would have been deaths. So I went back. The next time when I went out of my body, again, I was able to see like guides, mentors, but it really was during my open heart surgery. I saw my mentor on that side. I saw the boss that I worked for. I saw relatives. Again, only kind of from the waist up, kind of like an image. Telepathically, they sent me images. Oh, yeah. And I had lots of ex boyfriends that actually apologized to me on the other side for things they did, And by that time, I had forgiven them and didn't judge them, but we actually could have that honest communication. So and sometimes I was flying over land. Sometimes I was like kind of in a church building, but not. But it was more the people and the energy. Never felt that much love in my life as I did on the other side. Pure love and acceptance. No one judged you, and they didn't allow yourself to be judged by yourself. You saw what you did that wasn't maybe nice, and you got to go back and refine it, but no judging. It's all positive learning.
Absolutely, absolutely. Did you ever regret that this all these troubles in your life, they have come without you? You have been a nice soul. You have seen all those great people on the other side come back, and still you are having to bear. You should be treated special, and this is the way you have been done. You have achieved a lot of things, but I'm just trying to understand a bit of sometimes pain can be a bit too much, Donna.
Oh, yeah. I say that's it. Don't give me any more. I mean, I swear at my ceiling many times walking around my living room saying it's too much. But I'm an international speaker. I do past life readings all the time for people because of all the experiences I've had, good and painful. I can understand who I'm talking to. I know their depth, their pain, their understanding. So it's given me that wisdom. Oh, yeah, I am not signing up for this much if I have to come back for another lifetime. I'm going to ask for a much smoother one the next time. But this one, I said, lay it all on. And many lives as a female, we didn't have the right to speak up as a female and be powerful. So this is the life I'm claiming it. It's hard, but this is the life that I say, I want to speak up. I want my voice to be heard. I want to buy my own house, which I did. I want to travel the world, which I did. So with that came those lessons.
Absolutely. There is so many things to learn from you. Let's learn a bit from your book. Fire up your life, fire up your intuition, and fire up your healing. What is this book all about? Tell us a bit about. Hope this is one book, not three different books.
3 different books. The first one is Fire Up Your Life. That is a story. It starts right in the plane crash. That is, I'm at an all-time low. I'm a Hollywood actress. I'm thinking of suicide. I board that plane, and 3 minutes later, we explode. And I have that white light near-death experience. So it's about that white light. It's about my mentor coming in and saying, fabulous. Everything you were trying to manipulate in this life and be a Hollywood actress and whatever, it's gone. You get to start your life again from nothing. I was like, this is good. He said, this is good. So it's all about that one. The intuition one, everybody says today, because you can't trust the media. You can't trust what people say. How do we know? And I said, inside. So it's all about how I rebel and don't want to learn. But my mentor teaches me how I adopt my daughter as a single mom. And then there's like assignments that people can start to develop theirs. And the last one, it's about healing with my mother, healing with my father, healing with my brother, and then healing my cancer. I had stage 3. And it's the positive things I did to work with my surgeons and the procedure to be now cancer-free for over 20 some years.
Absolutely. So, who are these books that you have written? Is it for everyone or specific people having negativity? How should one understand who is this book for?
It's for everyone. It's like a story. It's my story. So you get to read it and you're going along the path and people go, oh, it's just like me. I thought that thought. Because I write everything. I say, I thought that negative thought. So it's for anyone that wants to start to look at their life instead of just being led around, but saying, It's my turn to learn how to make decisions inside, because that's what I talk about, the learning lessons I went through. It's very entertaining. You laugh at me. I make mistakes. I do it all. I get angry, but it's a very easy read.
Absolutely, Donna. Do you sometimes ever think why did God create all this paraphernalia of soul and life and rebirth and everything? It must be very tiring for him. What does he want to achieve out of this? It's almost like some game or something. What would you like to help us to understand about these things?
It's so hard to understand because I think there's so many levels and so many dimensions. And I know I have lived on other dimensions and other lives. So why do we keep doing these patterns? You are right. Because if you get that high in your level, why do you have to come down? I'm not exactly sure how long this pattern of learning things is going to go on. I just know a soul purifies itself when it can get rid of those negative patterns. And I just think that takes lifetimes and hundreds of lifetimes and hundreds and on different levels on Lemuria and on Atlantis and on, you're a Plemurian or you're an Artesian, you're all these different planets. And then you forget it all and then you start again. And I go, really? So I don't know how long this will go on in Earth. All I know is when we start getting inner peace, it's a feeling that no one can take away from us. That's the ultimate, that inner acceptance and that inner peace.
Absolutely. So, what is the key message insight that you have of life, beyond life, and crossing over, coming back from your books that you want people to learn and understand from your life and your wisdom?
I think people understand that every action they do, whether they know there's a past life or a future life, but every action they do, they know in their hearts whether they're hurting people or helping people. You know it in your heart, right? And once they get honest with themselves, then they can offer more value, be happier. You see some people that are happy and laughing, though, how'd they get there, right? Because that inner peace, that being honest, that's the message I want to get out. When you do something that isn't healthy for you or other people, but you want to deny it. I'm saying stay in that pure light, stay in that knowing, and that inner peace arrives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's much to learn and understand about all these things from you, Donna. And I'm sure a lot of people would want to connect with you, learn more from you, about your uh, various things, understanding about your international speaking assignments, also about learning from your book. What is the best way for them to connect with you?
Well, I have my website. So it's under my name, Donna, Donna. It's right there, Hartley. Remember heart, because I got 3 heart surgeries, HARTLEY.com. And if there's a plane crash across the top, you got it. Okay. So you can hire me for speaking, but the past lives are also there that you can book one. I book for a lot of people in India, by the way. We do it on Zoom. They get the audio, video, written transcript, and AI. They get the whole summary. So they're going to get 4, 5, 6 lives. But the only thing that's important is not that so much that life, how it shows up in this life. What's the pattern and what's their gift that they're supposed to be doing in their life? So I'm known as a pattern person. I bring it right forward to this life and they go, wow, now I'm understanding why that happened. So that's the best way is my website. Okay. And I live in California, but you can find me and I talk all over the world.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.